I take this opportunity to welcome our Honorable Dean, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Chinmay.
Good evening, Dr. Mehta.
Good evening, sir.
Dr. Chinmay has been
How are you?
talking very. Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me.
Okay, I think let's start.
Another 2 minutes, can you give me?
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure, sir. Definitely.
Okay, Chinmay.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. So, as you all know, this is the second Dr. B.D. Parmar Memorial Oration. Dr. B.D. Parmar sir was our ex-dean at Government Medical College, Bhavnagar, and his loving memory, we have started this oration. First of all, I request our Dean sir, Dr. Hemal Mehta sir, to give opening remark. Dr. Hemal Mehta sir.
Thank you, Dr. Chinmay. Very good evening to all of you. On the occasion of Dr. B.D. Parmar Memorial Oration, which is being organized every year in the loving memory of our beloved ex-dean of Government Medical College, Bhavnagar, Dr. B.D. Parmar sir, who has not only contributed immensely in the upliftment of our college, but has also provided a best example of leadership in the medical college administration. This is the second lecture in this series. I heartily welcome our today's guest speaker, Dr. Suresh Chari sir, who is the professor of biochemistry at Anna Medical College, Chennai.
No,
Mauritius, and also working as chairperson of medical education unit there. Today he will be speaking on the topic of pulling your own string, whereby he will tell us about assertiveness in leadership. Welcome, Dr. Chari sir.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you for sparing time for all of us. I'm happy to welcome a special invitee of this occasion and ex-dean of GMERS Medical College, Gotri, Vadodara, and also wife of Dr. B.D. Parmar sir, respected Dr. Indira Ben Parmar, madam, for joining and blessing this event. I also welcome all the delegates who joined from different parts of the country to be part of this event. Lastly, I thank and congratulate Dr. Chinmay Shah, Professor and Head Physiology at Government Medical College, Bhavnagar. He is also working as ME Medical Education Unit Coordinator at our college, and also OSD Research at DMER Gandhinagar, Government of Gujarat. So thank you all of you, and wish you all a happy Janmashtami. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your encouraging words. I also request Dr. Indira Parmar, madam, who is here, to say a few words and bless us. Over to Indira Parmar, ma'am.
Good evening to all. It is really a moment of great pride for me that Dr. B.D. Parmar's second oration. I thank Dr. Hemant Mehta, Dr. Chinmay, and Dr. Avinash Supe for his willingness to say eagerness for this talk really needs a big round of applause. Dr. B.D. Parmar was a great human being. He had never worked for his personal development, publicity, or fame. He had great passion, energy, and enthusiasm to develop medical colleges and hospitals. and to teach UG and PG students and to treat all poor patients with and give free treatment. He always work for poor patients and students. He always helps students, staff members, and colleagues with any problem, whether it might be legal, financial, psychological, or family issues. Doctors all over the world tirelessly for mankind. He devoted his life for the same. I thank again Dr. Suresh Chari, Dr. Hemant Mehta, and Dr. Chinmay for the same. Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for sparing your time. And we know you are the backbone when sir was here, and in all odds you were there with the sir. So thank you very much, ma'am, for blessing with us. So now let's start with our today's session by Dr. Chari sir. I think sir doesn't need any introduction because in India most of us know him. But then also let me narrate a few words regarding sir. Sir is a professor of biochemistry and chairperson MU at Mauritius, Anna Medical College, Mauritius. Sir is a soft skills trainer and motivator. Sir has spent 46 years as a teacher in various medical schools in Maharashtra, about 90 scientific publications in national and international journals. Sir has more than 40 research publications in educational research. Sir is a Famer Fellow, corporate trainer in leadership, relationship management, communication, public speaking, assertiveness, mentorship, teaching learning method. Sir is a member of several academic and social organizations. Sir is a passionate teacher, singer, and loves music and drama. And sir is a great human being. And looking at the quality of leadership in BD Parmar sir, we are starting the second session. First was by Dr. Supe sir, and now second is by Dr. Chari sir. Sir, over to you for your words of wisdom. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Chinmay. That was very kind of you. Very nice words. I wish my wife could hear all that. Is my voice clear, loud?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. It's an honor to be here because oration in the name of Dr. B.D. Parmar, who is such a well-known person in the field of medical education. As a dean, he has done so much for Bhavnagar and so many other medical colleges in Gujarat. I also thank Dr. Mehta, Dr. Mrs. Parmar for inviting me here to speak before you. But then I must confess that I am here because of one person, and that person is Dr. Chinmay Shah. Chinmay is known to most of us in India, and especially in the medical education fraternity. We call him the little dynamite, a small person, a very tiny fellow, but then he has so many bundles of energy and whatnot engulfed into one. A very positive person, very smiling person, and his two lines which he always says, you ask him anything and he'll say, ho jayega sir. That ho jayega sir is such a moral boosting. Thank you, Chinmay, for calling me, and I think I let me start my session with all of you. So I start with some disclaimers. Disclaimers in the sense that this is a training program. It's not a pravachan. I'm not going to give you a discourse. I think you know most of the things what you know, what I'm going to speak. Nothing new is being claimed here. We're only going to discuss many issues. You are still free to choose your own life. You are free to disagree with me. We all feel that we are good, and I know that all you are teachers, all you teachers are excellent in your own profession, and then you all want to become much better than what you are today. We all grow, and medical education is more or less looking at the direction of personal growth and the professional growth. You are participant, not participants, but I look at you as change agents. Change agents are those people who listen to something, learn from some places, and then they go back to their respective workplaces and try to apply them. And that's what all these training programs or these sessions are meant for. All these sessions are generally give you something new. I'm sure I have been attending webinars. Even yesterday there was a webinar which I attended, because I make it a point to see that we inculcate something new, which we go back in our workplace and do that. But before I begin, I must confess that to learn, we must first learn to unlearn. In my training center, there is a huge board which Chinmay has seen. It says shoes and chappals are allowed inside. Please leave your ego outside. Unless and until we are in the same plane, we will not be able to appreciate what I'm trying to say. So I think we leave all our posts aside for some time, and then we be able to discuss whatever we want to discuss. So let me begin by asking you a simple question, pulling your own strings, the question mark. So I'm not expecting answers because I don't see a board here. You guys can probably type somewhere. I'm not able to type anything here. This is the first time I'm using WebEx, so this is a little difficult. Pulling your own strings, question mark. Pulling your own strings is like a puppet show where somebody is holding head from up and is trying to, dictate your life. So the question which I'm trying to make here is, why allow somebody else to pull your strings? Why can't you pull your own strings? Why somebody else should lead your life or dictate your life? Can we not be masters of our own decisions is what this title is all about. So it's about two words which is very popular in the dictum today, which is called as emotional quotient and emotional intelligence. All of you must have heard of this so many times. I, for one, firmly believe that people who have a high emotional quotient or who are emotionally very intelligent are more successful in relationship management or leadership management. Because the person who understand these three words, which are very closely associated with a high EI, that is a person with high intelligence, is rationality, empathy, and assertiveness. I'll tell you what it means. Rationality means when you're conversing with somebody, when you want to interact with two people, you try to add logic to whatever you're saying. You try to add explanation to what you're saying. There should be a reason why what you are saying is important, why you are saying that is rationality. And with whom are you saying this? Who is this person? What is his position today? Where is he right now? So this is empathizing with that person, trying to look at life from his point of view. Once you answer these two questions, then you can plan how to speak. And that is a small word called assertive skills. It's a fight between what and how. What you want to speak is important, I know. But more important than what, should I say more important, or equally important as what, is how you should speak that. Because this fight goes on ever. You want to say certain things, but how you say that becomes very important sometimes than what you want to say. So it's a small facet of. Hello, Chinmay, can you mute yourself? This is a small facet of leadership, which I will put across to you, ladies and gentlemen. So I request you to take out a paper and pen. Is it okay if somebody is not muted? Take a pen and a paper. I'm going to show you some statements. All you need to do is write yes or no. All you need to do is write a yes or no. There are many statements. There will be about a dozen more, 2 dozen statements or so. And some of them you may get an answer sometimes. But try to give yourself a clear yes or a clear no. Are you ready with a paper and a pen? Okay, so you may also feel, sir, it depends on the situation, it depends on the person. Actually, if you're getting the sometimes kind of a thought, click to yes. Click to yes. Be honest to yourself. That's the only request I'm trying to make, because these statements are very, very simple, common statements. Yeah, sometimes you may feel that, oh, this is such a stupid statement. But then some of you may write a clear no or yes, but somebody may say, sometimes, sir, depends on person, sir, depends on situation, sir. Let me start. It's hard to say no to a salesperson who has worked so much, but I still buy. I go to a salesperson and the salesperson shows you many things and you don't want to buy anything, but you still buy. Yes or no? I find it difficult to start a conversation with strangers. I find it difficult to compliment a friend. I'm talking about a friend, true friend, real friend, close friend. I find it difficult to criticize a friend. Yes or no? I feel self-conscious when somebody close compliments me. I feel self-conscious when somebody close compliments me. Many times I feel that I'm being exploited. I find it difficult to ask a queue breaker to join the queue, a person who is breaking the queue when you are probably standing in the first, and he comes and breaks the queue. It's difficult to ask favors from friends. Many times I get, oh, I should have said that in a meeting. After the meeting is over, you should have, oh my God, I should have said that. That kind of a thought comes to your mind, yes or no, many times. It's difficult to say no to a friend, even if the requests are unreasonable. I feel people find me boring. I find it difficult to speak in public. Many times I think I am always wrong. Many times, always wrong. I have trouble maintaining relationship with friends and relatives. I feel uncomfortable when there is silence in a social gathering. I enter a social gathering and there is absolutely nobody talking there. I feel uncomfortable when somebody is watching me at work. Today only one student I was an invigilator, and one other invigilator were looking, and sir said, leave me alone, sir, let me work. So I feel uncomfortable when somebody is watching me at work. I feel uncomfortable when I enter a hall full of unknown people. I go into defensive when I'm being criticized. I hate telling people that they are wrong. I always feel people take advantage of me. I would rather keep quiet than stand up for myself. Some conflict situation, I think I should keep quiet. Why should I stand up for myself? I avoid responding to personal comments. I hate to get into argument with authority, even if they are wrong. I keep getting this fear of failure feeling. I hate to make an issue when somebody touches me inappropriately. I find it difficult to deal with bullies. Bullies are not only in schools, they are in seniors, they are in the form of relatives, etc. I find it difficult to deal with them. Most of the times, I shy away from conflict situations. I always put up with substandard service in a hotel or a restaurant. I always feel that no one asks or values my opinion. I mostly go along with other people's opinion. I feel most of the time, I keep thinking, what will others think? Log kya sochenge? I always feel if I do this way, people will get angry, will not like me. I always feel that my ideas are never heard. I feel that I'm being overpowered or people are controlling my expression. Many times I feel overlooked or slighted. People overlook me. I get this feeling that I am being a victim sometimes. And finally, I feel that I'm getting a feeling that I'm being manipulated by people. Okay, if you have done that, just count how many yes and how many no's. I don't know how many of you have done that really. Like how many yes and how many no's. Okay, so, okay, can somebody type number of yes, number of no's?
All of you can write in the chat box. I can speak for that.
Chat box, yes, no. 10 yes, 5 no's.
Somebody's typing.
Okay.
For me,
Yeah, for you. 17
okay.
years, 21 years, they're getting okay.
Dr. Medha said 17 years, Dr. Siddharth said 21.
Okay. Right. So there are yes. Okay. Out of 37, 21 yes, Medha, that's a bit too much. So we'll go slowly, count the number of yes and no's, and then we will probably look at what I'm trying to say. All these statements, you have some rights. I'm going ahead. Stop typing. All of us have some rights. These rights have not been given by God. These rights have been given to us by us. And hak banta hai, bhai.
Yes.
These are our
Yes.
rights. Hello, somebody is talking. Can you mute for Meena? Meena, please mute yourself. Meena, please mute yourself. Thank you. So you have the right to express your behavior. You have the right to offer no reasons for your behavior. You have the right to change your mind. You have the right to make mistakes. You have the right to say, I don't know. You have the right to say no. You have the right to say, I don't understand. You have the right to be treated with respect. You have the right to get angry, to ask for emotional support, to protest unfair treatment, ask for information, protest unfair criticism, and to be criticized, to have an opinion, to be listened to and taken seriously, and say, I love you or I hate you. These are your personal assertive rights. You can go on adding many things to this list. This list is endless. It goes on and on. These are assertive rights. The way you use this assertive rights, I say, I hate you, yaar. This hate you can be told, but there is a method of saying that hate you, and that skill is called as assertiveness. So there is a difference between assertive rights and the way. What you want to say is important, but how you say is more important. Let me give you a small example. Very simple example. You go to a restaurant. Chinmay and me have gone to a restaurant where he served us paneer butter masala, and there was no paneer in that. Paneer butter masala is a very common Indian dish, and there is no paneer in that paneer butter masala. So you have some rights. Remember, the right you have is there is no paneer. I ordered paneer. I have paid for this. I need paneer in this, or I need replacement, and I write my money back. Now, there are three ways in which you can react to this situation. I'm giving you very simple. When we go to little complex examples little later on of your workplace. But this example will tell you that you have three ways to react. One way is the way in which my father used to always react. My father was a very angry young man. Then he was an angry middle-aged man. Then he was an angry old man. Then he died an angry old man. And when you go to the restaurant, something used to happen to him. And if something without such things are served, which he used to really scream out, that is called as aggressive. Very tempting to use. Aggression is, if you want me to really demonstrate, I can do that. Hey, waiter, come here. Figure out. ये क्या लेके आया तुम? इसमें तो पनीर ही नहीं. You make a. इसमें तो पनीर ही नहीं है. No, you make a big noise. Everybody looks at you and you're screaming around, and it's a tempting to use. I'm saying because you get quick results when you shout and make a noise and make a big drama. But there is a second way some people react. Not all people react like this. Sir, there is something coming as requesting to annotate shared content during annotation. You cannot control. What is this, Chinmay?
Yeah, sir, actually somebody is trying to write on the, so we will stop it.
Stop karo, sir. Some
Yes,
yeah. So because it is blocking my screen. So there is one way of reacting is aggression. There are certain people who do not like to make a noise, but then they don't know how to use their rights also, and they are called as passive people. People who do not know how to use their rights, they keep quiet. Khalena, what is wrong? Isme jo paneer nahi hai to kya ho gaya? You can always have the rasa. You can pour that in the rice and you can eat that. Don't make so much of noise here. Whenever I go with you, you create such a nonsense. This is a typical person who wants to not react and not use. And there's a third method called as assertiveness, which talks about you have to use your rights, but there is a method. You call the waiter and ask him to give it back or take it back. Why do you have to lose your temper with a waiter? Why do you have to lose temper in this situation? Because we have been always doing that. We have been getting results very quickly. When I try to go into aggression, I get a result quickly. When I try to go to aggression, I get my results quickly. So I'm tempted to use that kind of reaction again and again. So that behavior is used again. And when you repeat a behavior, it becomes a habit. And when you use that behavior again and again, you keep on getting success again and again. You try to use them because it becomes a habit with you. But then believe me, you may get results very quickly when you're in aggression, but there are certain pitfalls. Let us see what those pitfalls are. When you are aggressive, that success is temporary. When you are successful, you are angry. When you are aggressive, you are angry. You are labeled as an arrogant person. Social distancing is much because people don't like to be with aggressive people every time. Think about colleagues you have who are always in an aggressive mood. Your rights are fulfilled, but there is loss of relationship. Rights are fulfilled, but there is loss of relationship. What happens in passive? Passive, you feel lousy, you feel guilty. Oh, God has always been unkind to me. Mere saath hi sab kuch aisa hota hai. You feel as if you have been used as a doormat. Your rights are not fulfilled. And what is lost is you keep crying, you become overstressed, you become overworked, you become angry, leads to frustration, leads to crying, and then one word in English called as sulking. You try to sulk away. Then you have another reaction called as assertive, which is honest, polite, firm, confident, relaxed. The rights are fulfilled and the relationships are also healthy. So if I have to choose between three types of behaviors or reactions, to that situation. Aggression gives you quick success, but leads to loss of relationships. So it is called as I am okay, you are not okay. This is aggression. Second one is I'm not okay, you are okay. This is passive. Third one is I'm okay, you are okay. So I think this, all of you know this chart which I'm showing you right now, because this decides the kind of body language you have with any person. A person who is coming in front of you, if you have this I am okay, you are okay, maybe he's a very senior person, maybe he's a very junior person, but everybody has got something to give you. I am okay, you are also okay. This is the life position in which the relationships are best maintained, because you tend to see that I also win and you also win. I'm sure the last one, we don't go at all. It's called as I am also not okay and you're also not okay. But then I, for one, would like to take you to a journey of what involves in aggression. What happens in aggression? In aggression, you express your emotions honestly. You express your emotions which are honest, but it is inappropriate. You are violating somebody else's right. There is no empathy, there is no rationality, there is no explanation. You are putting people down, you are dominating people. You always want to win, you always want people to lose, always. And ignoring other people's wish, getting annoyed and losing your temper. Work done, loss of relationship. You are not okay, I win and you lose. But this is not going to work. It may give you quick results, but doesn't give you good relationship in a long term. And in leadership, as a leader or as a team member, this can be avoided. Passivity is being eager to please others at all time, feeling that you may have hurt people. What will happen? What will they think? Unwilling to apologize. So many things could happen. Hiding your feelings, fear of doing, fear of failure, fear of ridicule. There are so many things that could happen in a passive, but the most important thing is that they sulk later. Most of the passive people whom I have been associated with, once the episode is over, they sulk after the episode. They get the feeling of being used. This is the feeling of doormat feeling, self-pity leading to frustration and anger, which is kept inside. Work is not done and you lose relationship with yourself. I'm not okay, you are okay, is the philosophy with which these people work with. And assertiveness, good self-worth, and I'm sure you understand that negotiating in terms with acceptable, putting people not putting other people down without making people feel that they have lost. You stand up without losing your temper. You are firm, yet you are polite. So while working with people or leading with people as a team member, all this appears to be difficult. It's a skill, it can be done. But believe me, there are certain people in my organization where I have worked for so many years. They call themselves frank. हिंदी में बोलने जाओ तो मैं तो बड़ा frank हूँ, मैं तो बड़ा straightforward हूँ. I wish I was sitting in a training hall with you. I could have asked you, how far do you feel that being straightforward or frank is good? Why people don't tend to be assertive, or they think they are assertive, but they actually are aggressive. They think this is assertion because some people feel that assertion can be considered as rude. Some people feel that assertion can be considered as blunt, outspoken, arrogant, may hurt people, may lose my job, so many things. So being straightforward and frank is okay. It's okay to be straightforward and frank. You have to be straightforward and frank when you are dealing with people in a committee meeting or in a departmental meeting or in your college council meetings. But then how is more important? If your straightforwardness is construed as being arrogant, if you are being too frank is blunt and rude and outspoken, and I think there is a time has come where we need to think and redo our thinking. You think you are assertive, but maybe you are going into aggression time and again. So we have to be very careful when you use this word straightforwardness and frank. I like people who are straightforward. I like people who are open with me. Communication is open, but I would caution them that please understand that there is a subtle difference between being frank and being rude, and one has to differentiate between these two. So how does this assertiveness work? Assertiveness skills work. This is a 7-day, 5-day workshop trying to finish off in 45 minutes. It's a strategy where the entire body is involved. Your gesture, posture, facial expression, modulation with empathy, all this comes into play. First define who. Who is this person? Why am I trying to speak to him? What am I trying, when and where? And then we decide the how. And now you can't say this person has come to me, now let me count who is this person, why this person, what, when. No, this just happens. It's a skill. And it just happens because you are experienced enough to know, can I speak to this person at this point? And then you design your how, which is in assertive manner. Empathy involves who, when, and where. Why and what is rationality. An example is a simple example is getting a mobile from your father, or a complex as asking your leave boss, an aggressive boss for leave, or getting work done from a difficult person. All these needs little planning. You have to find out who that person is. Why am I saying this to him? Is this the right place to do that? Where am I seeing? Is this the right time to do that? And then you decide the how. Barging into somebody's chamber and talking to an aggressive boss in that manner, I think I would be very cautious in doing that. So it's a game plan of relationship. It's not being diplomatic. It's you being firm yet polite. Somebody's, can you? Somebody's audio is on, Chinmay. Can you off? Everybody's on the audio. Is it possible from your end? Okay.
Keep everybody muted.
Okay. So yet firm. Now, when Chinmay and me go for fishing, Chinmay, we don't take samosa because we like samosa doesn't mean the fish will like samosa. So when we go for swimming, we in the rod or the hook we put worms because the worms likes the fish likes the worms. So give the fish what the fish likes because every individual is different. So you need to treat different people differently. You can't treat every people similarly. So this is an important concept which is to be understood while we get trained into assertiveness skills, that there are different ways in which you can do that. There has to be work done with no loss of relationship. It has to be a win-win situation. So I think it looks very simple. It looks very simple, but it definitely is little difficult because different kinds of people you meet, and every time you can't go into assertion, you may say. So I'll ask you a question, which is best? Aggression, where you get your work done very quickly, but there is loss of relationship. Passive, work not done, loss of self-worth. Assertion, work done, intact. The obvious answer is assertion, but then have you not gone into aggression sometimes? Have you not gone into passivity when you are dealing with your boss? Have you not gone into aggression and passivity so many times? It's not wrong to go into aggression. There are certain situations which demands you to go there. Believe me, today morning, my HOD and me had a small conflict on certain issues, and I did go into aggression. But how quickly you come back to assertion, how quickly you come back to the floor is extremely important. So it's not that which is the best, but I'm sure you understand the worst is passivity. Passive people are those people who do not know how to use their rights, leave alone look at those rights. So if your 34 statements which I have made has got many yes, think about it. Maybe you are leaning towards passivity sometimes. So you need to convert those yes into no's maybe. You need to work back on those 34 issues. Depending on the situation and people, have we not used one of them? Yes, we have gone. But the key is, without getting hooked onto passivity, without getting hooked onto aggression, can I quickly come back to assertion? It's possible, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to have good relationship with your people at the workplace where we are spending maximum time of our life, how much time do you spend in your workplace? How much time you spend in your home? How much time you spend in your sleep? If you look at all these calculations, you'll find that if you are a good worker and if you want to grow in life in your workplace, you will see that you are working for the maximum period of time in your workplace. And if you want to have a peaceful working environment, then you need to be learning this skill of, and most of you are assertive. Sometimes we go into aggression. Some situations demand you to go there. Nothing wrong with that. But how quickly you come back to assertion is very important. So assertiveness is not a battle of supremacy. It's about two equals where both win. Different situations will have different strategies. We have several ways in which you can use. I can show you only the titles of those methods. Maybe we will not go into the details, but It is broken record technique, self-disclosure, negative assertion, negative inquiry, workable compromise, postponing. So many ways in which you can use assertive skills. But then different situations will need you to use different kinds of methods of assertion. It's not always that you go to a restaurant and you get paneer butter masala without paneer. There are difficult situations than that, more complex situations than that. So there you need to probably go into workable compromise, or you need to postpone when you are probably talking to a very aggressive boss. You will say, okay, this guy is not in good mood today. I'll talk to him tomorrow. I'm going to one area which is called as no means no. Stop saying yes when you want to say no. An area which also talks about assertive skills. Why saying no is so difficult for some? Why some people can't? I have a friend of mine who can never say no. Probably he feels others will get annoyed with me. I will be letting them down. I am being rude or selfish if I say no. I am known to say yes always, so why should I say no? How can I say no? They will think that I am arrogant if I say no. Oh, if it's my boss, I might lose my job. He may lose my trust. I may find it difficult to ask for favor from them in future if I say no now to. I will become unpopular if I say no. I am popular and liked because I never say no. Because I keep saying yes, I'm top popular. I may get physically hurt if I say no. There could be several more reasons than this that people will say no. But I would say there are three types of no's: aggressive no, passive no, and assertive no. And I would recommend the last one. Aggressive no is a blunt no without any rational thoughts or explanation. Passive no is a very weak no and doing that thing which you never wanted to do and displeasing yourself. Assertive no is being firm without hurting people, and it needs skills. If this is happening to you, then stop saying yes. Are you getting a feeling of being used as a doormat? Are you feeling that, God, why only me? Why all this dukh dard to me? Are you becoming overworked or overstressed? Do you find no time or your own time leading to frustration? Do you find hidden resentments against people who asked? Are you losing temper on soft targets at home? I'm repeating, are you losing temper at soft targets at home? Are you becoming more aggressive? Remember, when you have the right to say no, but assertively. Sometimes aggression is important, especially when you are forced to do things which you never wanted to do. There, a firm no is a no. But most of the times you can probably say no. I'm going to give you some ways in which you can use these I statements. I feel, I think, I want you to understand, I understand, I am upset because. I would prefer, if in a very strong case, you could just say a simple, straightforward no. Try these sentences also. I can do some of this work later, if you don't mind. Is it okay? If you can help me with this, I will do it. If you do this for me, I can glad to do that. And don't do this. I can't do it, but let me find someone else who can do it. I can't help much, but let's work together how this task can be done. Can I do it tomorrow? I'm ready. I'm really sorry. This time I can't do it. You may get these thoughts in your mind. आपका क्या है सर? आपका तो हो गया. हमारा घर में आके देखो. Look at my department. Do you know my boss? You don't know my fellow. Oh, this guy is terrible. You can't work with this fellow. There are many thoughts which could come in your mind. I know there are difficult people. I know there are more difficult people than you have worked with. But please try to understand one thing. No one in this world can hurt you unless you allow them to hurt you. No one in this world can hurt you unless you allow them to hurt you. You will be treated the way you permit people to treat you. Second sentence. You are still free to live how you want, but please don't sulk. You may be aggressive. You like to be aggressive. You always want to be like that because you have got good results. Please go there. If you like to be passive and you don't want to be listening to or doing whatever overwork you have been given, then don't sulk. Sulking is passive. If you are doing this, stop and think. Let me do some small exercises with you before we end. Tell me which is the first behavior you would come to. Can you mute again, Chinmay? Award somebody. Okay. In fact, organizations
Yes, sir.
want Organizations want such leaders, want such team members who are assertive. Believe me, I have been with so many deans, and I always used to hear them saying, I want people who give critical criticisms. I want people who talk. But then most of the times in our meetings and other things, one or two people talk and others don't. In fact, organization or leaders in the organization want such team members. They want capacity building of persons who are willing to contribute to discussions, who are willing to talk in discussions. And I am sure that you now are a part of such cohorts where people are looking at you as the second line of leadership or third line of leadership. So I think, again, looking back at this restaurant, we should did that. Oh my God. Sari salesman shows you many items, you do not like any of them, you still buy. I don't think you buy, because nowadays you guys who are youngsters are very smart and you can know how to say no to a salesperson. But my wife, when she goes to a salesperson, if he shows her many saris, thousands or hundreds of them, this sari, that sari, and she doesn't want to buy anything, but ultimately she ends up buying something. If you are doing that, you are definitely passive. You are in a hurry to reach your workplace for an important lecture and some guest arrives unexpectedly. What will you do? Your friend's sister visits your house asking you to buy an expensive stuff, encyclopedia. This happens very commonly. And that person who is coming to sell these network products will tell you that your friend's sister's brother, somebody, and you really don't want to buy anything. Can you say no to them? You are standing in a queue in a railway station and suddenly some guy jumps the queue. Now, here you may go into aggression, and because you are in a cinema theater and you are almost there to buy the ticket, but then be careful with whom are you taking the panga with. You buy a dress, washing instructions are followed, it strings, and you ask back the money. Shopkeeper says this has never happened before. And he insists that you have washed wrongly, puts the blame on you. This blame game is very common. When this happens to you in workplace, how do you react? Your friend borrows money and you want it back urgently now. Can you ask the money back from your friend? Yeah, there are methods of asking. I'm sure you can do that, but then you think about it, if this has happened to you and you had a lot of problems asking for your own money back. Your parents have retired in the workplace and they don't want to leave their home. Now you have been offered a dream assignment in your company, outside your city. I'm in Mauritius, my mother is in Nagpur. Should I come here? What do you do? How do you convince them? How do you probably make some arrangements there and come, or whatever you do? All these actions are related to assertiveness. Your boss unexpectedly asks you to stay back on a project when you have other plans with your close friend. I have people in Mauritius we work on Monday to Friday. You give them an assignment on Saturday and you had it. So your boss expectedly asks you to stay on a Saturday project and you have a close plan somewhere else. What do? Friends insist you to have a drink or a smoke. I'm sure this is not true for you. Your administration asks you for donation for a social cause and you do not want to donate. A project was successful teamwork and your contribution to the teamwork was maximum. You feel appreciation was not even. Someone else got more brownie points. Very common. Now, if you feel that, what is that? Karam kiye ja, phal ki chinta mat kar. If you are that kind of a person, then you keep quiet. But if you feel that you have worked and appreciation should be given to you also, and everybody should know how much you have contributed, there are methods of subtly putting across this and telling people that this was also my contribution. But then you cannot sulk. That's my point. You are already sufficiently loaded with work and your management gives you one more assignment. If this assignment is important for you from personal growth point of view, go ahead and find ways of doing it. But if it is not, then there are methods of saying no. So the bottom line is, assertive does not mean being rude. It's a skill, it can be learned. In some situations, you may want to postpone it. You may go to aggression or passivity depending on the situation. But how quickly you come back to assertion is extremely important. How is more important than what in saying no? To be assertive, you need to use rationality, empathy, and you need to keep your ego outside for some time. Knowledge decides what to say. Skill decides how to say. Attitude decides when and how to say, how much to say, but wisdom decides whether to say or not to say. There is a Hindi couplet which I remembered suddenly when I was talking to my wife today morning. She said that क्या बोलना ये बचपन से सिखाया जाता है, क्या बोलना ये बचपन से सिखाया जाता है, कहाँ कब कितना और कैसे बोलना ये सीखते सीखते उम्र निकल जाती है. So the whole concept is about what, how, when, where, and how much to speak where. And that is all about assertive skills, ladies and gentlemen. All through this presentation, some of you may have been related with some difficult relatives, some difficult friends, some workplace associates. Now it's a time to share with me. All of you can relax and share with me anything or ask me any questions related to this area. Thank you so much. Yes, Chinmay.
Yes, sir. Can you share a specific coincidence?
I can't. Your voice.
Listen with the assertive leadership.
Your voice is breaking.
Now, is it okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I request participants that if you want to share anything specifically related to assertive leadership, you can share, and we have a sir who can just guide us on it.
Yeah, how to learn. Thank you. Was able to relate a lot.
Sir, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Who's that?
Dr. Nagda.
Hi. Good evening, madam. Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah.
How are you?
I am good.
Yeah,
Sir,
tell me.
assertive does not mean being rude, should be reiterated again and again. Because all of us are scared to be assertive in a meeting when 10 people know they are wrong, but still they are pursuing. So you feel that you will be singled out if you think differently. So can you throw some light on that?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say. You're absolutely on the hit on the nail, as it is called. Because many of us, when you have been in as a dean so many times, you have been as a professor, you have been as a head of an institute, we all want people to speak in the meeting, but then it depends on the leader how he allows them, how he makes them feel comfortable and discussions are being opened. So the leadership qualities of the leader there is in question. In fact, if the participants want to speak and are not speaking, either something is wrong with the team member who is not speaking, number one, as you said. I also put the onus back on the people who are leading this discussion, not making it the atmosphere conducive or encouraging to talk. There are people whom I have seen recently also. One person keeps speaking and keeps speaking, doesn't allow. And when I
Hello.
so I need to give more time for people to speak. Allow them to speak. Make a non-threatening environment, as it is called. We keep using that word so often.
So that's a very ideal situation. But in a meeting, many a times, if I am a member and the senior people are sitting, I generally do not want to oppose them. So I will suggest, but if they say, oh, no, that's not possible, I know it is possible. So that is the time that I need to use all the techniques that you showed.
Yeah, that is the time you need to use all the techniques. And I think, Madam Nagda, Madam, the younger generation needs to understand that their contribution is extremely important for the growth of the organization. And if they keep mum and if they don't participate in discussions, if they are not allowed to speak in the discussion, because I realize in my tenure as professor, as vice dean, and so many other positions that we have held, is that the youngsters have wonderful ideas. So somehow we need to encourage them to participate or keep speaking and then I don't know how you are putting it across, but then I feel that their contribution and participation is related to our leadership qualities.
Yes.
It comes back to us.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can I have a, it was a nice talk, sir. It's a wonderful talk. I have one question to ask. Do you have to be assertive always, or every places, or in some places only? So can you? You want me to reframe my questions? I'll
No,
ask
no,
you
you
again.
don't. No,
Do you
Bhaskar,
have to be assertive in all ways, in all the places?
I heard you correctly. I understood you,
Yes.
Bhaskar. It depends on the situation. It depends on the person you are dealing with. It depends on the place where you are talking about being assertive. So there are certain places where you want to be assertive. You need to talk and tell people what it's all about. But again, it all depends upon who those people are. So probably when we sit one to one, if you give me the perfect exact situation of who those people are, and then how does it affect your growth? How does it affect your person being with them? How does it affect the relationship that is going to take place in future in the same organization? So many things matter. But then my submission, humble submission is every situation can be dealt
Yes.
with if you understand assertiveness.
Yes, sir. Thanks, sir. I understand that.
Sir, actually, you are known as an assertive person, or you're known as a passive person or an aggressive person. In general, how your behavior is, it is innate. You cannot act on that. So at home, if I'm assertive with the children, or I'm assertive regarding that in the college, it is different. But if I am goody goody, people know, Ari, she can be manipulated. So that's the nature of a person. So if consciously, if we develop the habit of being assertive most the times where it is essential, I'm not saying some silly situation, but most the times in the decisions what we make at home, or in the generally in the associations or in the college, we come to be known that type of a person.
Yeah. You start getting labels because of your behavior.
Yes, sir.
Your behavior reflects your personality, and that's what the labels you carry along with you. There's a question here: when I work and contribute a lot for my institute, but the immediate boss takes all the credit for it, kindly let us know how any dealing with this situation. Yes, Suhasini madam, the boss takes all the credit, and you have done a lot of work for that.
Yeah. And sir, one more question is before that is, if the boss feels you threatened, the moment you share some idea.
No, you have a bad boss. God be with you, Dipti, because such bosses who have come to their fag end of their growth, even if they feel threatened by good ideas and growth, the institute will never grow. So there are ways in which you can share those ideas. Maybe put it in a suggestion box, or maybe use some other person who can get that idea to your boss without him feeling threatened. So you'll have to probably not manipulate, but there is a word in Hindi called as jugaad, and it's not a bad word, because relationship management is actually managing people, and managing people needs some kind of I'm not using the word manipulation, I'm not using the word jugaad, but some sort of managing relationships are required. So you use people to get your work done. So which type of person you will use to see that this threatening boss, or who person who gets threatened by your ideas, is not threatened. So you'll have to probably do that.
Sir, we must know how much ideas can be just openly shared where people can take, and some ideas which should be put up in writing or in the meeting. This happens, as the person has said, it happens most the times because you're supposed to, in India, by hierarchy, give the credit to the senior person. And if you're done with it, you're happy, it's okay. But if that is making you unhappy, you learn your lesson, and next time you put it up as you are in writing, that this is what I propose, this one. And when you propose it, and when it comes up in the meeting, people know where it came from.
Correct. Very true. That's what I think. So write down. Keep making notes and writing down. Let it be minuted. So in the minutes when it comes, things happen. So anyway, there are many situations which are very difficult, more difficult than this. You will face them as you grow in life. Right, Chinmay? If nobody else is questions, we can.
Yeah, Dr. Swapnil, your voice is little breaking. Can you write in the chat box?
Swapnil,
Yes, okay.
I can hear you. Parlikar,
Yes, sir.
unmute.
Uh, so how can we get, I just wanted to ask, how can we get feedback on our assertive skills and can we practice it in the department setting?
By asking a question in this forum, you have proved that you are an assertive fellow. Number one. So you have those skills with you and you are practicing that in your workplace. I am sure that you have that body language, you have that modulation, you have that facial expression to put your voice across. My only request to you, Swapnil, and all these people sitting here, if you have something in your mind, if you have something to tell, please share that. Don't sulk afterwards कि मैंने ऐसा बोलना चाहिए था उस meeting में. Nobody listens to me at all. There is no point in telling anything in this meeting because nobody listens to all this. That is all their problems. Your problem, your job is to see that you participate for the growth of the organization by contributing. You have to contribute, Swapnil. I'm sure you're doing that because I know you and I'm sure you're doing that. Yes, Medha. Medha, you
So
raised.
I have just one small forward that in terms of the context also, like in the West, they are more sort of given to assertiveness.
Yeah.
And here we are more given to following the hierarchy and being passive, is it, sir?
It is like that, but as the generations keep moving, let us not mimic
Yes,
our past. Let us not mimic what you have been seeing with your HODs or with your deans, or when you become an HOD. Let's look at future. I think there is lot of scope for improvement, and there are lot of scope for taking people along with you if you do not mimic certain things which were wrongly done earlier. We have to move ahead, Swapnil. We cannot stay stagnant by only sulking that my boss is like that, my dean is like that, my HOD is like that. No, we need to probably. There was a time when Lalita Pawar was called as a bad mother-in-law. Now, when there was a dialogue in a movie, we said "Saas bhi kabhi bahu thi" and all that. So you can't extrapolate whatever happened in your past to the present generation. No, it won't work. Things are changing, and you need to change along with the time.
thank you, sir. And the generation is fast picking up. The
No, this
generation which is they are changing.
No, this generation is definitely changing, sir. They understand that participative learning and participative leadership is the time of the day. No, nobody can work alone. Gone are those days when one single man used to run the entire show. You need a team to do certain things. Without your team, you can't do anything. And to build a team, you need to be assertive. You need to have openness. You need to allow people to be assertive. How again, I'm repeating what Nagda madam has said. I'm repeating again. How much you have, as a leader, have you created an environment of assertiveness in your workplace? Are you allowing people to be assertive? So if you are carrying that label that no, when this fellow is sitting in the chair, he allows people to talk. He allows new thoughts to come in. So as a leader, you carry that label around, and then things are much better in that workplaces.
Thank you very much, sir, for an excellent session, as well as usually or we don't take question answer, but we thought that let's have an advantage of you on the other side. So thank you very much for solving queries of everyone. So I am very happy to share with all the participants, and on behalf of Medical College Bhavnagar, we are able to, and we are honored to.
स्क्रीन शेयरिंग નથી દેખાતું.
We lost Chinmay. The connection is weak. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Are you?
Thank you, Mrs. Parmar,
Thank
Dr.
you very much.
Chinmay, all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, sir, again. Let me share again the screen, sir, once only,
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
I can.
I'm seeing so many friends now in the list. Medha is there, Sujata is there, Ashok is there, Dipti, Chinmay, Shruti.
There are two Medhas there.
Which Medha am I talking to? I don't know.
You're talking to Dr. Medha Joshi from Bangalore.
Yeah, Medha. Yeah. Nice talking to you. Are you coming to Mumbai, Medha?
No, I am going out of country that time. So I will be missing out on meeting you all in Bombay.
Yeah, I'll be there.
You're able to see?
No, I'm not able to see anything.
No, not yet.
Hello.
નહીં સર તમે દેખાતું નથી સર
Let
તમે
me try
એન્ટાયર
once.
સ્ક્રીન શેર કરજો.
Okay.
What do you want to share, Chinmay? What did you want to share?
સર ચિન્મય સર લેફ્ટ થઈ ગયા છે. 5
Okay.
મિનિટમાં આવવા જોઈએ. આવી ગયા સર.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
યસ સર.
Now, what did you want to share, Chinmay? You wanted to share something?
Somehow there is a problem, so I'm directly putting a camera on it. I think now it is visible.
No.
As my video.
No, nothing is visible, Chinmay. Now it's coming. Yeah. What is that?
I hope
Okay. Now I understand what that is.
Yes, sir. Sorry, actually, somehow I am not able to share the screen. So I
Oh,
said,
no. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for being so kind to spare a time with us and from your busy schedule. To each and every participant, we are thankful to Dean sir for allowing us and blessing us for this oration. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.